Okay, lately, man, it's been some serious crackdowns on the drug operations, especially dealing with the cartels overseas. So I'm gonna play this little video because it was a new crackdown in Venezuela, or is it Puerto Rico? No, Puerto Rico. My bad. It was a new crackdown in Puerto Rico earlier, and I seen it on the news, and I said, you know what, I need to make a reaction video too. 'Cause I seen a crackdown in Philadelphia, I seen a crackdown in Mexico, and I seen a crackdown in Venezuela, and I seen that big shipment that got caught transporting overseas from Mexico. So it's a lot going on with these cartels and this war on drugs. I'll give Trump his props. He have been stepping it up on these cartel members. But I feel like we need to focus a little bit more on other places as well. We can't just stick to Mexico and like Colombia and Venezuela. I'll get into it. I'll get into it.
I want to switch gears here, Hal, and talk about another big story. This coming from Fox News' Jennifer Griffin reporting that the Pentagon is deploying 10 F-35 stealth fighter jets to Puerto Rico for counter-narcotics tasking in the Caribbean. A source familiar confirms to Fox News per Lucas Tomlinson. And I want to play out his report, and then we'll talk about it on the back end, Hal.
Okay.
If they do put us in a dangerous position, they'll be shut down.
The Pentagon called the flyover of armed Venezuelan F-16s over the USS Jason Dunham highly provocative. The flyover took place 2 days after U.S. forces launched a strike on a Venezuelan drug boat in the Caribbean. President Trump said all 11 members of the Tren de Aragua gang on board were killed. The State Department declared the group a foreign terrorist organization in February. A Republican member of the Senate Armed Services Committee called the strike justified.
The boat had been warned to stop. They chose not to. They were clearly running drugs. We had been tracking it since it left Venezuela.
Many Democrats called the strike a violation of international law.
They think they can get away with this. God knows what they are going to do next. So that's what we're looking to right now, and there is reason to believe.
I don't think it was a violation of law, but I do want to understand a little bit because I know we can't just run into other countries and do what we want to do. Obviously, we have like treaties and other things in place and policies. But my thing is, okay, with the boat, was they going somewhere where we couldn't like prosecute them? Because why did you not just wait until they had to stop? I mean, they only got so much gas. They have to go like. Is it well no because you are in a fighter jet. You can't just park a fighter jet. So I guess that semi makes sense, but I just don't know. Maybe I feel like you didn't have to kill him. It was a ways around that. But not in the military, never have been, don't have any experience in that area. So they could have been excessive or they could have been justified in the way they did the things because there was no other option. But my thing is I feel like you could have deployed somebody somewhere to like just intercept them. You know? It's kind of my try to keep people alive even though they doing crimes. It's I understand it, to be honest. I've been on both sides of the track.
This was not a legal action.
Right. Technical hoodies are awesome, but, bro, they make you look like a mountain douche.
You need the Bearskin Tactical Hoodie 4.0 to get comfortable in the wild. It's the ultimate 10-pocket utility hoodie for fishing, golf, hunting, camping.
President Trump's defense secretary says the actions are justified after 400,000 Americans died from drug overdoses during the Biden administration.
A foreign terrorist organization poisoning your people with drugs coming from a drug cartel is no different than Al-Qaeda.
At the height of the Obama administration, the U.S. military carried out drone strikes in 7 different...
If we're going to talk about terrorism, the drug terrorism is way worse than Al-Qaeda terrorism. We focused on Iraq and Afghanistan and just the Middle East for a decade or a couple of decades, to be honest. That didn't get us nowhere. We lost more people due to drugs than we lost to fucking bombs and explosives. I mean, 9/11 was bad, but so was fentanyl.
Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, Libya, Pakistan, Yemen, and Somalia.
Middle East.
Over 500 in all, killing an estimated 3,500 people, including hundreds of civilians. President Trump also made it official, changing the name of the Department of Defense.
We're going Department of War.
This marks the second time in U.S. history the Department of...
Trump do come up with some good-ass names. Department of Defense versus Department of War. I like that better. It sounds give you a little scary.
Nomenclature has been used to describe the cabinet that oversees the U.S. military. The first time was back in 1789. Congress still needs to approve the name change. At the White House, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
And Lucas continues to report there, saying President Trump warns Venezuela that if any more fighter jets threaten U.S. warships in the Caribbean, they will be shot down. Let's bring in back Hal Kemper to react to this news. And yeah, President Trump and the administration really going hard on these narco terrorists.
Well, my thing is, right, we focus so much on, like I said, first it was the Middle East. Now we're focusing more on Latin America, you know, Colombia, Mexico, things of that nature. When we gonna start focusing on China? Only time I see somebody say something about China is when they talk about the counterfeit. We're not gonna talk about all the fentanyl they bringing in, all the chemicals to make meth. You know what? Let me go to that video, because I was just watching a video yesterday where we busted a boat bringing in enough chemicals to make, I think no, it was more than 2 times. Let me see, because there was a lot of meth that could be made from these chemicals. I forgot exactly the numbers. Let me see. Right here. 569 million worth of meth. You know they over-exaggerate the numbers, but
if they know
I
that
want to
they
go there.
are.
Look at this.
All right, thank you all for coming out today. We think that this is a very important issue, and I flew down from Washington because I think that this is so significant. And I very much appreciate your being here along with the people who are standing behind me. Every day, tons of chemicals that are used to create synthetic drugs like methamphetamine and fentanyl are shipped from China to Mexico in China's undeclared war against America and her citizens.
That's exactly what I was just about to say. Mind you, I did watch this video yesterday, but I forgot that she said undeclared war. That's what I was literally going to say. When are we going to just say we beefing with China? I mean, we already know we're not allies. We got that established. But still, when are we just going to outright say we don't fuck with you? And y'all don't fuck with us. Don't come fucking with us. And we ain't fucking with y'all no more. I know we kind of need each other, so it has to be some business there. But just because we do business, I don't mean we got to like each other. It just got to be a respect thing. And China obviously doesn't respect us. They send drugs over here by the masses and make billions off of us. Shit, really, we at least need to start sending something back if that's the case. Because, I mean, I don't know how many I need to look that up. How many fentanyl deaths are in China? I bet you it's not that many. They probably prosecuting drug dealers over there by the tons, giving you all type of death penalties and life sentences. Like, I don't understand why we're just... This is one thing I like about Trump that I didn't like about other administrations. I feel like they were just too weak. You need somebody that's willing to go to war. It is what it is. That's part of being a human being in life and running a government. It's going to be some deaths. It's going to be some casualties. That's what we signed up for. That's why we have a military. I would prefer we didn't lose anyone, but obviously China not playing. We have to take it there. Sometimes you got to fight fire with fire, or at least you got to kill their economy. Stop doing business with them. They need us just as much as we need them. A lot of people are under the false notion that China is this stable economy. China is just as bad as us, to be honest. They might be a little bit worse. Only thing is they have more people than us. So they got more expendable characters. They can afford to lose some, and you know what I mean? Things of that nature. But overall, their economy basically lives off us. They thrive off of us. We're their biggest consumers. So if we stop shopping with them, they're going to lose trillions of dollars. If we get one more tenth of fentanyl over here, everything gets shut down. Y'all send some more chemicals from meth, it all gets shut down. Yeah, we're going to have to lose some businesses. We're going to lose some money too, but shit, we'll figure it out like we did before. At one point in time, we didn't have to do this much business with China or anyone else. We need to get back to that, and that's why I support Trump, because he's trying to get us back to not needing other people and not living off other people. Yeah, some people are going to go bankrupt. Oh, well, people have been broke since the beginning of the time. Figure it out.
And every day in funeral homes across this country, we see the tragic consequences of what has happened in this undeclared war. the families who were forced to say goodbye to their loved ones because of this scourge. And so today we announce a very significant seizure of 2 shipments of chemicals shipped on 2 different vessels on the high seas en route to the Sinaloa cartel in Mexico.
If you want to build an app,
Sinaloa Cartel be crunching. Gotta give them that. 171 members of large. Let me see this. I didn't even see this video. Let me check this video. They doing a lot of drug busts lately. Somebody ain't been paying somebody. This is more than just a political stunt. I think people haven't been getting paid because you're not about to tell me for all these years. Well, we know. I'm not even about to pretend like we don't know. We know the government was in on the drug rings. Maybe not every member, but higher up, the higher up you went, I feel like they knew a little bit more. So now that we just all of a sudden can just catch every drug dealer in the world and all that's not just a coincidence. Somebody ain't get paid, or somebody realized it's more beneficial on this side of the things than on the other side, because illegal activities are not as worth as much as they used to be worth at the prime of their time. It's a big difference. Like when I talk to a lot of street friends of mine, it's a big difference out here right now, and I think they're starting to realize there's more money in the political side of things if you can get the headlines. If I can be the one who broke down the Sinaloa cartel, I would make way more money than when I was in bed with them. That's the only thing about doing business with somebody that's on both sides, because it's like doing business with a dirty cop. At any given time, he can just become a legitimate cop and arrest you. And what you gonna say? I was doing business with him. Prove it. So you have, unless you got real proof that you were doing business with them, it's nothing for them to just say you're making up stuff. That's the only thing. It's always a catch-22 to do business with somebody that's on both sides of the law. And I think they're just starting to realize it's way more beneficial to just be a legitimate politician. But I want to see this because I didn't see this.
the Federal Drug Enforcement Administration says a week-long cartel crackdown led to nearly 200 arrests just in New England. The DEA says they were all members of the Sinaloa cartel, the largest drug cartel in the world. 25 Investigates went one-on-one with the DEA special agent in charge about their recent operation. He says the vast Sinaloa network has deep roots in New England.
They're our public enemy number one.
Jared Forget, the special agent in charge of DEA's New England Field Division, says last week the DEA set out to arrest as many members of the Mexico-based Sinaloa cartel as possible. New England saw the highest number of regional arrests at 171, with 49 in Massachusetts, 33 in New Hampshire. Connecticut saw the most at 64.
Do you think people would be surprised to learn how many members of that cartel are operating probably in plain sight in their communities?
Sure. So,
to be honest, and I'm not surprised at this, they're in all the places I wouldn't expect them to be. I mean, I expect them to be everywhere, but you would think about New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Arizona, the obvious states. I'm not thinking about no damn Massachusetts. Like, they just doing heavy, like, large operation things out there. Like, that's like a hub for, like, weight and quantity, because I don't feel like they in there like, yeah, here go a gram. Like, in Massachusetts, not saying there's not addicts, but you just them the places that you really don't think about, and that's probably where they make the most money at, to be honest. Places like that where there's not so much competition.
Sinaloa cartel in every single state across America, more than 40 countries around the world, and obviously they're in every state throughout New England.
What's their number one product they push? Is it the pills?
So we see fentanyl powder and we see counterfeit pills that are made to look like legitimate pills, notably M30s.
M30 pills are counterfeit oxycodone, but Forget says they're also increasingly seeing counterfeit stimulant pills made to look like Adderall. Forget showed us some of the more than 22,000 pills and other drugs seized during the operation, like signature purple fentanyl, and some drug packaging even displaying the Sinaloa cartel stamp.
I'm a DEA agent. I cannot tell the difference between a fake one and a real one. So we need to remind parents.
I'm just going on record. He's probably not a good DEA agent if he can't tell the difference between a fake 30 and a real 30. I'm just saying it. I'm putting it out there. They need to hire some better drug classes. That's all I'm saying.
Schools, caregivers, everybody in the community have those conversations with each other.
All them 30s looked fake. Not the ones right here, but if you go back when he said M30, they was big. I'm not getting into it, but I'm getting into it. They need to do a better job of teaching them stuff. Just saying.
Have them with your kids.
Forget says the cartel targets unsuspecting young people online through common social media apps. Many have no idea they're buying potentially deadly counterfeit pills. 171 arrests throughout New England.
I really don't feel like they're doing that at large scale. I don't feel like if the Sinaloa, you think you trying to tell me El Chapo told his soldiers, you know what we should do? Go on Instagram and meet kids and send them fake pills. I don't feel like that. Maybe the lower level guys who just don't think might have did that, but I don't see the higher level guys. That's too much exposure. I feel like I can't believe they just put their stamp on it and said, "Hey, Sinaloa." That's crazy to me. I can't believe they did that. That's wild to me. I can't believe they just said Sinaloa. You know, but hey, like I said, it's a new world. Social media is everything. Maybe that is their new way of advertising pills and drugs. That's crazy to me, but it's possible.
Does that make a dent?
We're the DEA. We're not going after low-level retail drug traffickers. We are going after drug trafficking organizations, the networks.
How do you disrupt that, something that is so large, so vast, and seemingly so powerful?
Right. It's an ongoing battle, one that we can't afford to give up, right? The Sinaloa cartel is a threat to public safety, our public health, and our national security as a country.
This year, the Centers for Disease Control reported while drug overdose deaths are declining, overdose is the leading cause of death for young people ages 18 to 45. For 25 Investigates, I'm Carrie Kavanaugh.
They off, bro. The Sinaloa's the price is going up. I'm gonna just tell y'all what the price is going up on everything. Meth, coke, the price is going up. It's about to be
the DEA in Arizona fighting it.
Look, another international. Damn. Like, just look. I'm gonna be honest. See, the thing is, it's hard for me to tell if it's propaganda or not. But if you look at all this over here, all you see is crackdown, drug seizures, criminal organization caught. Look, they talking about the fentanyl king right here. Look at this. I bet Chinese man, and they still haven't went to China and did nothing. So that's another thing. Okay, I understand dismantling Mexico because they are going through Mexico at the end. But if I got fentanyl, if once you shut down Mexico, all I gotta do is find somewhere else. Not saying it's that easy, but I mean, China is very resourceful and they some smart motherfuckers. So they need to start thinking about actual China. Man, listen, it'll get to the point where China wouldn't be able to import shit fucking with me. I get a tenth of fucking fentanyl over here again. It's over there. I said over there. It's over with. I said some people gonna have to lose part of life.
It's a major drug cartel ramping up arrests and prosecutions.
Fox 10's Lauren Clark joins us live tonight with an exclusive look at how they're doubling down their efforts to prevent drugs from coming into the country through Arizona. Lauren.
Hey there, John and Christina. Well, the DEA tells me the Sinaloa cartel is one of the most infamous drug cartels in the globe. And since they've been designated a foreign terrorist organization, the DEA now has more tools to crack down.
They're by far Arizona's greatest threat.
Special agent in charge of the DEA Phoenix Field Division, Sherry Oz, not mincing words over her office's clear target.
We are laser focused on the Sinaloa cartel.
The high-powered Mexican cartel has long dominated the drug trade, with Arizona being a key area of their distribution.
Arizona is the gateway between Mexico and the cartels and the rest of the United States.
And
we are doubling down our efforts to go after them.
Nah, them 30s looked a little better. I'm gonna be honest. Doing some nice looking 30s. Them looked way better.
Mountain of fentanyl, cocaine, heroin, and meth all seized within the last 10 days.
This year alone, we have 48% more arrests than we did at the same time last year.
And most of these arrests, says Oz, are those in controlling positions in the cartel.
And we are seeing that we are going at a nearly nonstop rate for federal prosecutions.
As U.S. Attorney Tim Corshane says, there's a renewed focus on more severe charges. And because drugs drive crime, the agency says this is a crucial step to keeping our state's streets safe.
Once we get all the way through a case and they face that day of reckoning in front of a judge for their sentencing, that's when I think it all comes to a head.
With the crackdown designed to send a clear message.
We are coming for you. And my guys are not tired, and they're not stopping.
My message is that the members of the cartel have exploited Americans for long enough, and they have put Americans into a position where they are choosing addiction or death. That stops now.
We also got our hands on these investigative reports here, and it gives you an idea of just how much work the agency has gone through in the past few weeks. On August 18th, they seized 135,000 pills. They seized around 200,000 pills on August 25th. Those cases and dozens more like it are going to be prosecuted, most likely right here at the federal courthouse. Reporting live in downtown Phoenix, Lauren Clark.
So is Sinaloa the only cartel, or that's just the main focus? Because I've heard of other names, just saying. Well, it's like, what's the personal beef for the Sinaloas? Because they've been out here the longest? Because there are other cartels that maybe just because they just the biggest. I don't know. Sinaloa cartel pipeline. Yeah, they on the Sinaloa cartel's ass right now. I'm gonna be honest. But another thing is, so they leak everything to the Sinaloa cartel. That's why I say you can tell that they've been in bed with them, because how do you know all of this is coming from Sinaloa? That means you've been letting it go on. You didn't just wake up one week and get all the information in the world to crack down on all these drug shipments and different multi-state drug raids. Like, no, this didn't just happen last week. Y'all was in bed with them, and y'all realized it made more sense to stop it. I mean, like I said, I understand. I'm here for it. Like I said, man, the price of the brick going up, the price of that fentanyl going up, and the price of that meth is going up. It got to. They losing a lot of money right now. Somebody ain't get paid, and somebody's going to be some bodies behind this. It has to be. But anyways, subscribe to my channel. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Turn on your post notifications. Check out my other content outside of my reaction videos. It's actually good content, and I appreciate everybody for giving my channel a chance. Thank y'all. I'm out. Hold on. Stop the fucking press. I was wrong. Now, earlier in this video, I made some derogatory comments about the government and them not cracking down on China like I feel like they should have. I feel like they focused on more Latin America than anything, and I stand corrected. I had to come back I was just about to upload this video, and I had to come back and make the correction and apologize because I was wrong. I got some new information. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. And for people who don't know who he is, you should be watching my channel. Now, upon discovery, I actually found the video. Actually, nope, I can't even say I found it. The video found me. It popped up on my feed. There's an indictment going down on an international drug conspiracy. And guess where that drug conspiracy is grounded in? China. They're really going after China. So, like I said, I stand corrected. I'm going to play the video for you guys to see, and so you can actually get a little bit of intel on what I'm actually talking about, obviously. And so I can get proven wrong, because I am a man, and if I'm wrong, I got to admit my wrongs and then, take accountability for it. So now I have to stand corrected and give the government their props. They're actually doing shit that I feel like they should be doing. That lets you know this is a real crackdown. Like, it's real, and they're serious about it. So let me play the video for y'all. I'm not going to play the whole 29 minutes. Y'all going to have to listen to that yourselves. I got better stuff to do.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's great to be in Ohio on one of the FBI's primary initiatives since I became the director. Ohio, like the rest of the country, has suffered from a drug epidemic, and it's taken too many of the lives of our children and our youth and our communities. And this operation, Operation Box Cutter, would not have been possible without the interagency efforts of both the DEA, the United States Attorney's Office, and of course our FBI field office here in Cincinnati, and our state and local partners. And we wanted to take time to highlight why this is such an important takedown. It is the first of its kind in terms of how we actually get after the threat that is Chinese precursors, which are used to make fentanyl, which is used to kill tens of thousands of Americans a year. We're done playing whack-a-mole. The brilliant case team here and the prosecutors here and the local and state authorities here created a program whereby if you want to end the pandemic of fentanyl and cocaine and meth, you have to go after where it's made, how it's made, and what goes into making it. And the brilliant team here, our case team, was able to figure out the companies in mainland China that produce the fentanyl, the locals here in Ohio and across America, along with the banking institutions and the flow of money, and to shutter them with this indictment in one fell swoop. It is years of work targeting a enterprise that the American public just doesn't have too much understanding of. And the purpose of this indictment and unsealing it and bringing it forward to you is to show you the large-scale effort it will take, and that this operation is leading the charge, and the FBI is leading this mission across the country. It is not just happening here in Ohio. It's happening in dozens of districts around the country and all across the world. And I'll let the folks behind me get into the details of it, but I just want to leave you with a couple of statistics. We didn't just arrest a couple of people. We charged an enterprise-wide system in mainland China to include dozens of individuals and banks and companies that are responsible for making these lethal precursors and shipping them here. And you should ask yourself this: what other country in the world has a fentanyl crisis? None. Just us. That's not by accident.
That's the point.
And then you should ask yourself, what about the volume and quantity of what was apprehended in just this operation alone? It was something like 139 kilograms of fentanyl powder. That's enough lethal doses for 70 million Americans. To put that in perspective, the state of Ohio has a population of 12 million people approximately. That's 5x Ohio. They also seized over 525 grams worth of powder that can be used to make fentanyl pills. That's enough to kill another 270,000 Americans. This stuff is lethal. It is for too long, there has not been attacked. And that's why the priority at the FBI is national security and violent crime. And this case demonstrates the intersection of those two top mission sets that the FBI has. And we're proud to stand here in Ohio today in the first of its kind effort to lead this takedown, to lead this initiative. And we're relying on you and the media to read these indictments and look at the complexities in which the CCP mainland operations will go through to import these substances to the Mexican drug cartels and put them onto our streets here through local operatives. And unless you unwind that web, and unless you track down every single person and business and entity and flow of money involved in it, you will never break the wheel. We are here today to break the wheel of fentanyl trafficking in the United States of America, and I couldn't be prouder to be here in Ohio to announce this initiative and this wonderful takedown. And again, thanks to our partners here on the ground, the SAC, the United States Attorney, DEA, state and local law enforcement. It's a true honor to be here, and I'll let them give you guys the details. Thank you.
Good morning. My name's Dominic Drace. I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Ohio.
Like I said, I'm not going to play the whole video. I just had to come get some insight and get proven wrong. I was wrong. I apologize to the government. Y'all actually doing something. Shh, I'm making videos. No talking. You can talk after. I was wrong. Please accept my sincerest apologies. And y'all do y'all thing out there, man. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in and watching my videos. Thank y'all for giving my videos a chance. Please watch other content on my page. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank y'all. Shout out to Baby Aiden for being a guest on the show. Unexpected guest, but hey, he's here now. Thank y'all. I'm out.